welcome to the Hanford Dixon Show with the top dog, Hanford Dixon. I'm Gabriella Cruz, and we are joined today by a very special guest we're going to bring in. And this is kind of cool because this is someone you played against, but you guys went to the same alma mater. You have the same alma mater, Southern Mississippi boy.
Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Some people say I'm no good. Crazy as can be. I get drunk in the morning, in the afternoon, but I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on my own, if you don't like the way I'm living, leave the short-hair country boy alone, goddammit. What's up, Lulu?
What's up, Vic? What's happening?
I thought you might like.
Sounds pretty good there, boy.
Gabby, I thought he might like that song
He
right
liked
there.
that one. He liked that one. We are joined by Louis Lips. Let's see, former wide receiver, 9 seasons in the NFL, was a Pittsburgh Steeler. So you really went head-to-head with this guy at one point, Hanford.
Well, we did, Gabby, but I could tell you a quick little story about him. You know, he can cook now.
Oh, wow.
You know, obviously he's from Louisiana.
That's right.
He'd like to tell people he's from New Orleans, but the town he's from was so small. You know, if you blink, you'll miss it. Is it small, Louis?
Oh man, that's right. You blink, you miss it, babe. I think he can count all the red lights on 2 fingers.
Well, yeah, Gabby, I understand that because I'm also from a little small town, but I'm from Alabama, a little small town outside of Mobile called Theodore, Alabama. Any of you guys out there have heard of Theodore, Alabama? Raise your hand, okay? I got to raise mine.
Theodore.
Only because of you, Hanford.
But Gabby, he was a big robber rouse. You know, those Pittsburgh Steelers. We gotta give him a hard time because he's one of those guys. At one time or another, when he mentioned the Cleveland area, you know what he called us?
Oh,
the mistake on the lake. See,
I've heard that one before.
Gabby,
We've heard that one.
Gabby, he thinks I don't know. He's said that a couple times out of his own mouth. He's called Cleveland the mistake on the lake, and we have a problem with people saying that about Cleveland.
You're a big smack talker. Obviously, we've been over this. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's not get started with that now.
I'm sure
he
Louis,
likes to
he's
talk.
had a few things to say to you.
Oh man, that's my dog though. Hey man. Thanks.
Well, I mean, the sun don't even shine in Cleveland, man. I can't remember playing one game when it had sunshine.
Hey,
not one.
Hey, you shut your mouth. Don't you say that about Cleveland. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing that killed me. For him to say the mistake on the lake in Cleveland. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Now, in Pittsburgh, I mean, you got the 2 cities pretty much have the same type of weather. Is that correct?
I feel like that's a fair analysis. You know, Pittsburgh's pretty cold.
And our stadium is right on the lake. And when you go to Pittsburgh, I mean, 3 Rivers, I mean, the stadium is not 3 Rivers anymore, though, is it?
No.
It's Acrisure now.
Yes.
What the hell is that?
Acrisure.
I don't even know what that is.
I think that's some kind of insurance firm, I think, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they came up with the big money and knocked Hines out the picture.
Right.
Well, Big Dog, we're gonna dive in for a minute here. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, man, no problem.
We'll be right back with Louis Lips. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We are joined by Louis Lips today, and we're getting to know him a little bit and your story, Hanford. So you guys go way back. Thanks for joining us today, Louis.
Yes, not a problem. Anything for the top dog.
I think we left off on smack talk and mistake on the lake.
Louis, I want to ask you. Let's go back to you at Southern Mississippi. Were you shocked when you was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh my gosh, man! Not only shocked that I got drafted by them, but the position that I got drafted in. You know, back then, man, I was just when we had that pro day during my junior year. You know, the scouts came to me and asked me if I had any intentions of or any dreams about playing in the National Football League, and I went, "What, man? Are you kidding me?" I said, "The NFL?" I said, "You think I can play in the NFL?" He said, "That's why we here." And then you go through my senior year, and things went okay, and I get drafted. Not only drafted, but I get drafted in the first round. I mean, man, that was just like so mind blowing to me, and didn't realize how big that was until I actually got here in Pittsburgh.
Well, and you was a 23rd pick, I want to say, in the first round. And Louis, even in college, what you had, like 92 catches?
Yeah, we had all them horses in the backfield, man.
Right, Sammy Weiner and you played with Sammy, Ricky Floyd.
Sam yeah, man. All we did was ran the ball, man. We only threw the ball because we had to.
So is that why you were shocked, because you didn't think that you were worthy, or you just the amount of catches, or you just?
I did. I just didn't think that my numbers were there for me to go that high. And then after I went to the Senior Bowl, that's when all the scouts are there, all the head coaches are there. We getting coached by professional coaches, and they were even talking, hey man, they got their eyes on you, keep doing what you're doing, they're saying good things. You can't go down, you can only climb the ladder, so so I just kept being me and doing me, and that's what happened, man.
Now, did you say you were surprised at the position that you got looked at for?
Being that I was the 23rd player in the draft, to be 23rd person picked in the draft,
right,
out of,
I gotcha.
Oh my gosh, there's like three, at that time it was over 330, 340 players drafted back then, and I'm the 23rd out of that many. I'm like, holy crap. That was, that was big time, man. My little hometown just lit up, man. I came back from Hattiesburg, coming back home. Man, you could have swore the president of the United States was driving through town.
Louis, a lot of people don't know this, and this is going to shock you. You were really a better baseball player. You felt that you were a better baseball player than a football player. And was baseball your first love?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Man, Hanford, it was so crazy. It was the whole time my dad was grooming me to play baseball. And so when it came time for me graduating high school and possibly getting a scholarship to go to school, football, I had offers in football. I even had a junior college offer in basketball. But knowing that I wasn't going to school to play football, knowing that I wasn't going to school to play basketball, I had my heart set on playing baseball for somebody. And Southern in Baton Rouge and Grambling University was the two that were really wanted me. And so back then, you couldn't over recruit in different sports. So say, for instance, like you can only be recruited during football season for football. You can only be recruited basketball for basketball season, baseball for baseball season. And so when I got the offer from Coach Bauer to come to Southern Miss, that's the first thing I did. I ran to my dad and I said, Dad, this is Coach Bauer from University of Southern Mississippi. He said he wants to know if I want to come up there and play football. And the first thing came out of my dad's mouth, he said, well, because that was his big thing of me going to college. And he said, you better make sure they let you play baseball if they're going to give you a football scholarship. And back then, Hamp, you as well as I do, we didn't even have a baseball team. It was all walk-on.
No, you're right.
And their baseball field was our practice field.
Oh, man. What position?
Now they hosting SEC schools and tournaments and all kinds of stuff going on now, because that's the baseball stadium we got there is like unbelievable.
What did you play in baseball?
I played every position except shortstop and second base. But center field was my position.
Well, I got to say this to you because obviously when you came to Pittsburgh, when you got to the pros, we all know that you're a great wide receiver, but also you were a great punt returner. And me personally, I don't know how you guys can return those punts because when you got to give that fair catch and you got Gabby, you got them, they're just coming in on you. I would fumble that ball every time. And my understanding, baseball had something to do with you being a great punt returner.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, when you play in center field, them guys trying to get extra bases on you, man. And so, you capped under that fly ball, and you got your eyeball on that guy either tagging on first or tagging on second or tagging third, trying to go home. So you got to keep your eyes on him because the last thing you want to do is make a late throw. So when I grew up, we used to call it the crow hop. So you catch and throw at the same time. And so by me being an outfielder, I was just coached that way to watch that runner. If he's tagging up, then you got to get rid of that ball really, really fast.
Louis,
So that's just like when the punt's up there, I'm checking these guys out coming down the field.
You got to look everywhere.
Yeah.
You're screaming. They come and Gavin, they want to knock you out when they're coming at you. Lou, and this is a question because I remember me playing against guys with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, when I first came in, they had Lynn Swan and John Stallworth were the two wide receivers and the guys that I really had to go against. And I remember telling you guys a story, John, because I used to talk crap and stuff to everybody. You know me, Gabby. I just love to talk. And John Stallworth was a guy. Louis, I told John Stallworth, I said, man, I got to tell you something. I said, because he never said a word back to me. He just went about his business. And that thing was... that
hurt you more.
It hurt me more. I mean, because he, instead of me getting in his head...
He was getting in yours.
He was getting in my head, And you know John a lot better than anyone because my understanding, he pretty much took you under his wings. You guys maybe roomed together, I think, on
absolutely,
on some trip. And here's Louis trying to take a guy position, but John is just still helping him get through. Do we have time to get into that bone a little bit? Okay, tell a little bit about that, Louis.
Well, yeah, man, Stahl was a great guy, man. I mean, when I was there, when we were in training camp. And, we were there 2 weeks before the veterans came in. And so one of the PR guys was telling me about, oh, man, you're going to love John Stallworth. He's a great guy. He says, you're going to be able to pick him out of the room of 100 people because he said he's about 6'2", 6'3". And he talks like this. He got a little high speaking voice, And he came in, man, and introduced himself and said, "Welcome to Pittsburgh and welcome to the Steelers." And man, I just sat back there waiting for my reps, and I was just watching him in amazement of how he would make an out route look like so many different routes. It was unbelievable. And then we end up being roommates together for the whole 4 or 5 years that I played with him, and after that fact, I said to myself, got to thinking, I'm like, well, damn, I think they must have did that on purpose. I mean, because what 10-year veteran wants to room with a rookie?
I don't know many.
I
don't know many.
So,
most of them wanted their own room.
Yeah, and everybody tells me, man, because I got caught after the first 4 Super Bowls, and I left before the next 4 that they went to, and 2 of those they won. So, for me, I think I came in at the right time because I came in and I played right away and, and did some good things. So, and he was a big, big part of that. And the one other thing that he really helped me with was that John used to go in the meetings with the OC and the quarterbacks before our wide receiver meeting. And so I'd always be looking for him. I'm like, well, where the hell did he go? And then, And I don't know, I guess it might have been 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season. And so I finally said, hey, man, I said, well, where you be going at in the morning? He said, I go to the meeting. I said, what meeting? He said, the quarterback meeting. I said, what? I said, we can go in that meeting? He said, yeah, man. He said, you ought to come in the meeting. And, went to a couple of meetings, man, and you would not believe how much that actually helped me to be helpful on the field.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to, I know we got to take a little break. Gabby's going to break us in a minute, but what I want to talk to you about some of the other players, and when did you finally realize that playing the Cleveland Browns, and because I know when I realized playing the Pittsburgh Steelers for the first time, man, I just couldn't believe the intensity and everything that was going on the field. So hang tight. We're not going to hold you too long, but hang tight with us. Okay. Gabby's going to take us out here.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We've got the top dog, of course, and we're joined by Louis Lips. He was just telling us about, the intensity of Steelers versus Browns. We want to know what that was like for you. Take us back in time. Such a storied rivalry, and then also the Dawg Pound playing near the mistake on the lake, if you will.
Those Steelers fans are loving this show right here, Gab. They got Louis.
They are.
They got Louis on, and then they got him talking about the mistake on the lake.
You guys might have been saying the mistake on the lake, but you had to be intimidated by the Dawg Pound.
Well, I tell you what, we were at Municipal Stadium, and Hamp, you know as well as I do because you started that damn thing, and so we came out to warm up, and the seats, that Dawg Pound
close
had to be 3 yards behind the back end of the end zone.
Close.
I mean, really, really close.
Right there for you.
And man, I mean, these people were intense. I mean, they were screaming and howling and cussing and barking so much that, I mean, you could see the saliva coming out of their mouths. They were so freaking mad. And I don't know if the redness of their skin was from the cold weather or the alcohol they were drinking, but I tell you what, man, that was unbelievable. And then we get fired with, these daggone people were throwing dog biscuits at us.
Yes.
Dog biscuits at us. You hear me? The one time I was down, and that's how I found out that, man, these damn people are crazy. I mean, these people have lost their mind. And that damn dog biscuit hit me in my helmet, man. My ears didn't stop ringing until halftime.
Louis, listen to this.
I'm like, man, what I got myself into here.
Listen to this, big dog. Now, this, obviously we were in the AFC North, and now they call it the AFC. No, we were in the AFC Central. Now they call it the AFC North. And I never will forget this. My rookie season, and you played with this guy, Jack Lambert. And this one I realized how serious it was. We were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. We were playing them at home, and this was my rookie year. Brian Sipe was the quarterback, and Brian Sipe ran over by the sideline, Gabby, and I'm telling you something. Jack Lambert hit Brian Sipe, and I just opened my mouth, and I'm just a rookie. I'm still like a little kid there, and I'm like, wow, this shit here is real. I mean, it is really real. I couldn't believe it. That's when I realized that whenever we were playing, I mean, obviously any team in our division, the AFC Central, but whenever we were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, you had to strap it on because if you didn't, it was going to be a problem. Louis, did you realize that early in your career too, playing against the Cleveland Browns or any team in the AFC Central?
Man, look, in my rookie year, I think it was a preseason game. We were up in Cleveland, and it was a preseason game. And I remember real vividly, man, me and myself and Ouija Thompson were the wide receivers for us at the time. And I think Ouija might have caught a slant pass or made a catch in the end zone. And I was on your side. You was covering me that particular play. And Ouija caught the pass, man, and I was jumping up and down, screaming, "Yeah, there go Ouija, yeah!" And you go, "Shut your damn mouth, rookie. That ain't mean shit, you know." And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about, man?" Yeah, you know. And then so after the game, I'm looking for Hanford, man. Hanford ain't want to have nothing to do with me, man.
Nothing.
He was in the moment, man.
That is so funny.
It was, it was just the way it was, and I think was one of your favorite quarterbacks then, Bobby Brister. It was that who was?
Well, he came. Bub came in what 88, I think.
Okay, so you were on your way out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But that was that was something. I mean, Hanford told me to shut up, stop all that noise. But that's not the actual words that he used.
Right.
Let me be straight with that.
I figured that much.
Louis, tell us a little bit about, obviously, have you had a chance to watch this Steelers team right now? Because I'm telling you, man, we all thought that there's no way this football team is going to be in it right now. But I don't know how you count out a guy like Mike Tomlin, because he does nothing but seems to win and win and win. But tell us what you think about this Pittsburgh Steelers team right now.
Well, I tell you what, man, that team is they got a lot of talent, man. I mean, a lot of talent. And I think what's happening now is that they aren't using these guys to their full capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had Najee in the backfield along with the other running back, can't think of his name right now, and had these wide receivers that they have, I'm telling you what, man, I'd be putting some pressure on some defenses, man. I'd be getting them the ball as much as I can every chance I get. And for some strange reason, they aren't doing that. And, right now the offense is pretty much relying on the defense to keep them in these games. They're giving them the ball in great field position. The offense is really struggling, even though, they make, these splurge plays like Tomlin always says. But if they want to be a mainstay, not only in the North, but in the league, yeah, man, they got to get it together, man. They got to put the foot on the gas, man.
Well, everybody's pretty excited about, I don't know, when they drafted him, Kenny Pickett, Gab, we were talking about him, obviously the guy out of Pitt right there, and he's trying to get it together. But Louis, looking at that defense, I mean, you can't be disappointed by that T.J. Watt. I mean,
oh my God,
I mean this guy. Did you see him pick off that pass?
Yes, indeed, I did.
What
the
hell?
Yeah, I was watching the game.
That's DB stuff.
He is something special, man, and you could see it when he's not in there. That they're not the same team. And then they're missing the big captain in the middle, Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
He's
the glue.
And they still making it happen. I mean, they're trying to find themselves in the secondary, but but they doing enough to get by.
Well, they got Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, they got Minka. They're really high on Joey Jr. So, it's just a matter of time. I mean, I don't know how much more time they got, but the big thing is that I think what's going to really work in their favor is like the next 3 weeks they're at home. The next 3 weeks they're at home. So, okay. And they're gonna come into that stadium, man, and the fans they're gonna be in it to the sky, and and if they can pull off a couple of victories here, man, maybe they can grab some momentum.
You mentioned T.J. Watt. It's gonna be him versus Myles Garrett for Defensive Player of the Year, I think.
Well, I tell you what, that Myles Garrett, man, I watched him yesterday. I mean, you guys pulled it off, man. But that Myles Garrett is
that was his game.
Boy, he's a man amongst boys over there, boy. I tell you what,
Louis. Before we let you go, we know you finally you're in the HOF, you're a Hall of Fame member of the
the Hall of Honor.
honors
Yeah.
for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
I knew that meant a lot to you, didn't it?
Oh my gosh, man. I was teary-eyed. I'm getting teary-eyed now, but I mean, I always tell everybody, man, even when I go out and speaking engagements, stuff like that, I said, I know we was that mistaken decade there in between the 70s and the 90s. I said, but I could tell you one thing: we wasn't trying to lose.
Right.
We were trying to win, you know. Mm-hmm. And even with that being said, for them to still think that much of me, to put me in the hall with all these other guys that 4 rings and Hall of Famers. I mean, yeah, man, that touched me royally.
Well, I can say this. So Gab and I were just talking about it before the show. You are truly, truly worthy of it, my friend. I don't even have to tell you. You know how good you were, and at that time, I mean, just Gabby was something else, and he was a great wide receiver, but even better punt returner.
Oof, congratulations on all your success. It's really cool for you to share your story and for us to give him a tribute for all the honors and accolades that you have. And what a storied career. Almost 10 years in the NFL. Not an easy thing. You guys both had great long careers.
You got it.
Right.
Thanks for joining us, Big Dog.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it very much. Hey, Hamp, I'm probably going to be coming to Cleveland pretty soon.
You know it. Just
so don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody so they don't flatten my tires when I get down there.
For that mistake on the lake thing.
I'll be ready with a dog biscuit. Don't you worry.
Louis, before you go,
I think what I'm going to do when I get to the state line, I'm going to rent a car with Ohio plates on it.
Before you go, who's going to win the AFC North?
I think it's going to be a toss-up between the Steelers and the Ravens.
Oh, my God. Cut him off, Gab.
Gab,
cut him off.
We'll see you next time. Louis Lips, thank you so much for joining us.
I got to say that, but you guys are sneaky, man. Cleveland's sneaky. So, I mean, you don't just get lucky and beat San Francisco. It was a buzzer beater here Sunday. When you guys went down to Indianapolis, but some kind of way, man, you guys find to get them big wins.
Thank you, my friend.
Trying to keep it going.
All right, Hamp.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Louis Lips, great guest to have on Hanford.
It was really exciting to have him. I know it's some good stuff, but we can just go on and talk to him all day, but we got to take a break.
We got to take a break. We should have him in studio when he comes
Absolutely.
back. We'll do that. All right, we'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. How cool to have Louis Lips on. I love you guys' storytelling.
Oh, he is so funny. I didn't want to bring up, though, one time he came across the middle. I put that headgear right in his chest, and he was sitting there just, and I whispered in his ear. And I said, I missed you, man. I didn't hit you good. I wish I'd have got you good, knowing I hit him really good. But I know he was just saying to himself, damn, if he think he missed me, what's going to happen when he really hit me? I love to do that to one of those wide receivers.
I can't believe this is the same person who says that he's afraid to shoot an open layup because he's afraid to brick it.
Right.
So he has to pass it off at the last minute.
That's totally different. That's different. Now I have confidence coming across that middle to hit somebody, but that layup, I want nothing to do with it.
We're going to break down some Browns, but of course we're going to get our fan reaction from JT Thompson of Montrose Auto Group joining us once again in studio. Welcome.
Thanks, Gabby. Glad to be back.
Always good to have you back. We got another Victory Monday on our hands, and we want to hear about your reaction and any questions you've got for Hanford.
God. Well, the game yesterday was an emotional roller coaster from a fan's seat.
Wasn't it crazy?
I mean, 3-4 plays into the ball game, Ford runs 70 yards for a touchdown. 5 plays later, we have that, offsides, and boom, Indy's off to the races. Another 7. It was just up and down the whole day.
JT, did you think we were going to pull it off, though? Tell the truth. You got a little worried there a little bit, did you?
I mean, Hanford, I'm a Browns fan. Yeah. I did not think as soon as Watson went out, I'm like, all right, well, we're done. This is how it goes. This is exactly how it goes. And but it was fun. I mean, it was a fun football game to watch. That was by far the best game of the slate yesterday, in my opinion.
Well, I know you have some questions for me, but I have one for you.
Yeah,
let
let
me
me know.
ask you this, and Gab, I want your answer on this one too. And this is about Deshaun. I mean, you guys have to tell me now. Obviously, Deshaun got hurt. I mean, he went out. He went into concussion protocol. Okay. Now I'm hearing maybe it had something to do with his shoulder, but regardless of whatever happened, Stefanski said, I'm not going to put him back in the game. I'm going to pull him. Do you guys think there's a problem right now at quarterback?
Well,
I
yeah.
I
I
do.
think that we have a question mark at quarterback, and that is a problem because we want to see our $230 million quarterback out there, and we want to see him healthy, though, right?
It's the uncertainty of it. Yeah, none of us are in the locker room. We don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, and that conversation in there. I mean, what Stefanski did is probably the correct thing by setting him out, but at the same time, Gab, you just alluded to it. $230 million guaranteed contract. What are we doing? And I see it both sides.
Yeah.
It's actually the question I was going to ask you.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, true or false? Is Deshaun our guy?
Oh boy!
I mean, and I know we can do that week to week, but
yeah,
I know we really could at this point.
you hit. That's why I was trying to get that question to you guys because before you hit me with it. But I don't know. I think there's some question marks right there because I think he's only played in, I want to say 10 games. Maybe I'm wrong, right or wrong. I want to say it's about 10 games that he's played in. And let's face it, I mean, we've given him 230, as you guys mentioned, and every cent of that is guaranteed. And, I mean, before he went out of the game, I think he was 1 for 5.
with the pick.
Yep.
And he should have had another pick
Yep.
that was just dropped where the defensive back just couldn't control it all the way through the ground. So I don't know. It's just tough. I mean, it's just really, really tough.
It is because you see the flashes of talent. You're coming out of that Tennessee game going, wow, this is our guy. You really feel comfortable and confident that we finally have the person that's going to lead this team after years and years, 2 decades plus of uncertainty at the QB position. You feel like you have him, and then he's out, and then out again, and I don't know. I don't know what to think.
And then to make it more confusing, he gets medically cleared here and there, cleared with the concussion,
Right.
cleared with the shoulder. Now now Stefanski is saying we're going to see him against the Seahawks. That's the plan as of now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure things will flip and turn by the time all is said and done. But
And you're right. And here's what's crazy is I don't think we're thinking right now that we're sure if him, DTR, or PJ Walker. I mean, there's a question mark. I think as far as the Browns are concerned, I don't know this, but I'm just saying I think there's a question mark with one of those guys. They don't know who.
We don't know.
They don't know who's going to be.
You don't know what you don't know yet.
Right, right. But I know you got another question.
Well,
for
the next question, true or false? Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year.
whew, we were
Boy,
just
that's-
talking about it with
Boy,
Louis Lips.
that's an easy question right now.
I think so.
7.5 sacks, 3
Oh.
forced fumbles, 1 blocked kick.
My. Myles Garrett is a freak. I mean,
Otherworldly.
he is a freak.
That man jumping over the line yesterday was out of this world.
I mean,
How do you do that?
I couldn't believe it. I could
Yeah.
not believe that he jumped over and blocked the field goal. I mean, and I'm telling you, you can't block him. On one of those strip sacks that he had, they actually tried to double team him, and that didn't work and couldn't work because he went through two guys,
tight end and the
to
tackle.
get to the
Yep.
quarterback.
Because he's a machine.
So to answer your question, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
man. That's
he
what I thought.
He is right now the
Man is
MVP,
playing
defensive
out
MVP.
of his mind.
Yeah, and if you know those quarterbacks got their wraps around the MVP of the league.
Yep.
But defensive, you have to say it's Myles Garrett.
Glad he's on our team.
That's right, my friend.
JT, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Give Montrose Auto a plug here as we head out.
I mean, hey, you need a car? We got them.
All right.
Go to gomontrose.com.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Do they
We'll take
ask,
care of you.
Do they ask for you, JT?
A lot of people do. Yeah, a lot of people do. They see me around town. Hey, you're that guy. You're that guy. Yeah, I am.
He's our guy.
I'll take care of you.
Well, we have to say this. You are getting better in those commercials.
I try.
You are pretty good.
Hey, I've known you for a long
That's
time,
right.
and you're
That's
not
right.
shy when it comes to being in front of the camera.
That's right.
No, he's not.
No.
Thanks so much, JT. And
Thank you.
we got to take a break, but we'll be back with more Browns breakdown after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We're breaking down Browns. And also, Hanford, I want to get your opinion on around the AFC North. What caught your eye over the weekend?
Yeah, there was a couple of games, and Gabby, I can't believe. Before I say that though, I always feel like Icky Woods is looking at me when we do this whole show. It just feel like he's those eyes.
Yeah,
those
he's got eyes on
me.
you.
But yeah, getting back to your
Don't say
question,
the wrong thing.
Gabby, it was interesting yesterday.
Ravens, Steelers both won.
Yeah.
Cincinnati had the bye week.
I have to say this, and it kind of hurt me to say this, but I think the Baltimore Ravens right now not only are the best team in the AFC North, I think they legitimate right to be the best team, I think, in the league right now. Because when you look at the Baltimore Ravens really should be 7-0. They really should. In one game, Lamar had like 8. They dropped 8 passes, and yesterday they played the Detroit Lions, and the Lions. I mean, what were the Lions? I think they were like they had lost one game, I want to say, yesterday. Before yesterday, had lost only one game. And this was supposed to be a big game for both teams. And the Baltimore Ravens, man, they just seemed like they could do anything they wanted to do against this Detroit team. And Lamar threw for like 350-something yards. I mean, he threw for 3. I mean, he was involved in like 4 touchdowns. He ran 1, and I think he threw 3 other touchdown passes. And then they were able to run the football. And that defense right now, that defense is playing well. I mean, there's 2 defenses in the AFC North that are pretty damn good. Talking about our defense and that Baltimore Ravens defense. And it was shocking to me that they were able to handle the Detroit Lions the way they handled them. And also, looking in the AFC North, those damn Pittsburgh Steelers, I cannot believe it. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, the way they whole started, I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers right now are number 2 in the AFC North. That's big because they're 2-0 in the division, and they are ahead of us. We're 3, and then the Cincinnati Bengals are 4. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, I didn't think that they were playing as well as they had. But you never can count on a Mike Tomlin team. Right. I mean, because he's never had a losing season since he's been in Pittsburgh, and they're playing pretty well. And I think
Steelers remind me of us a little bit in the aspect of their defense. When their defense gets those real big plays, when you see Watt make a really big play, it fires everybody up, and it has that momentum thing that allows them just to stay in it.
Yeah, and I thought the Rams, I thought the LA Rams I thought they were going to beat them. I mean, I really did. But when you got a team like T.J. Watt, like you said, I mean, he's like a Myles Garrett on that defense, and he is just phenomenal. And obviously,
he's got comparable numbers: 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and all the energy and personality that comes with it. A lot like Myles.
Yeah, he gets it done. And obviously, that other team a little bit further south in Ohio, talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, they had a bye yesterday, so they didn't play, but they're last place in the division. But they seem like they're playing really well right now because Joe Burrows and company are starting to get on the same page, and Joe Burrow's starting to get healthy. So, but still, the AFC North is going to be interesting. Hopefully, we'll have two teams come out by the time all this stuff and all the dust is settled. Hopefully, we'll have 2 teams coming out of the AFC North that's going to make it to the playoffs, talking about the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. And that would just make me really, really happy.
I would make all of us here in Cleveland happy. Did you catch the Bills, Patriots? Bills fell to the Patriots, and Josh Allen just didn't look great.
Yeah, but I don't want to say I'm going to put that whole thing on Josh Allen. I mean, because I just don't know what team is going to show up when the Buffalo Bills come. I mean, the Buffalo Bills I don't think there's a possibility they might even make the playoffs, and still there's a long way to go. But which Bills team is going to show up? I mean, they cannot beat Belichick. I mean, everybody's beating Belichick this year, but you have to give that other quarterback out of Alabama. I mean, Gab, he played extremely well. I mean, he really did. I think in the fourth quarter, Gab, I want to say he was 7 for 7 in the fourth quarter. I think like 138 yards, 128 yards, something like that. But he didn't miss a pass, and he came back. Mike Jones, I want to say his name is something like that. But out of Mac Jones, I know it was something like that. But this guy, I mean, he came back, and he was just phenomenal, Bones. He was phenomenal in the fourth quarter. But getting back to those Buffalo Bills, I just don't know. I don't know who's going to show up. Who's going to show up again whenever the Bills play?
You know what? That's a fair analysis. I know that you said you watched the Dolphins-Eagles, too, 31-17, and Eagles on top. All right, I will say this, though. Dolphins, who's got the greatest touchdown celebration right now? Is it what we saw from Tyreek Hill?
Let me tell you something. Tyreek Hill is a fool, man. I mean, he is so funny, so entertaining. You have to like this guy. I mean, when he called, you knew something was coming. You just didn't know what was going to come after whenever he gets in the end zone.
The floppy fish.
I was just going to ask you, is that what it was?
I think so. I think that he was getting reeled in, and then he just did the flop.
But see, you can dance, so you know how to.
Come on, it's in the show. You got it.
I know you know how to do all that stuff. But getting to that game, you talking about two teams. Both of them were 5-1 going into that game, and there was two quarterbacks. Both of them played at the University of Alabama. And what was interesting was Tua. I think, was it Jalen that got hurt at one game and Tua came? When Tua got hurt, or Jalen, one of them got hurt, and the other one came in the championship game and won the championship game. So this was personal.
Yeah.
People could say what they want to say, but this was personal between the two of them. And the two of them, they like each other.
What was it, Bohm? I know that obviously Jalen transferred.
Jalen got benched for Tua in that first initial national championship game where Alabama won.
Okay.
And then Tua got hurt, and Jalen came back in. But then the following year, Jalen transferred to Oklahoma, where he won the Heisman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I was going to say, I know it's personal for.
Now they're both in the NFL, and Jalen beats Tua.
But also, too, now you have to. Did you see those wide receivers? You had some wide receivers. I'm from Alabama, so that's why I'm lighting up when I start talking about these Alabama players. You had two guys, 2 or 3 wide receivers, and that was from. The University of Alabama that both of those guys were throwing to. So they
go Southern boys.
I mean, what can I say, Gab? Roll Tide, roll. I know you don't want to hear that. You Buckeyes, roll Tide, roll. That's
Leave this short-haired country boy alone. All right, we got to go to break. We'll be back, you crazy guy, right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We are wrapping up here. And Hanford, you were in Indiana over the weekend. You said there was a lot of traveling fans, Browns in numbers.
Yeah, but I could tell you this. It was like a mini Dawg Pound. I mean, well, I want to say mini, but it was Browns fans just absolutely everywhere in that place. I did an appearance for the Indy Browns backers, and this was so surprising to me. Not only was the Indy Browns backers there, seemed like all the Browns backers that was maybe within 200 miles from the place, they were all there in that place. I went to this one place, a little bar and restaurant, and I'm telling you, the bar restaurant is huge, and I'm telling you, the whole place was just packed with orange and brown. And I can imagine at the stadium. I mean, Browns travel well. Mm-hmm. I mean, they travel extremely well, but it was a lot of Browns fans there at the game.
I bet you were barking.
Well, we had it going. We, that's why I like doing these things, because, and I go back and I tell the players over and over again, I mean, there's no better fans than the Cleveland Browns fans. I mean, anywhere in the world. And it goes back to, obviously, when I played, we were just so close to them. They can feel us. They can touch us. And
that is so cool to hear that.
And all you have to do right now, all they have to do is, like they're doing right now, win a few games. Win a few games because you see how good it is, even if you're, because we haven't won anything lately, but just win a few games. And you talking about fans get crazy.
It's crazy how you can feel the whole city's aura shift.
Oh, the vibe.
You know if we won or lost on a Monday in Cleveland.
I mean, I'm walking through, and I haven't played in a while now, but Browns fans, they know their players. And they're barking at me. I'm barking back at them, and it's just that relationship that we have with each other. It's just unbelievable, and I like it because a lot of they're bringing their kids up right to love the Cleveland Browns. So that makes me happy.
They're all becoming the Cleveland Browns. They're entering the whole cycle. It's generational. Well, listen, Browns at Seahawks. We're looking for another dub. Hanford, good show.
Oh, Gabby, I tell you what, it was really, really good. We want to say thank you to Louis Lips, former Pittsburgh Steelers, old Southern Mississippi boy that was on with us. Really appreciate him coming on. And it was a great show. But, of course, you, Gabby, you make the whole thing work.
I got you.